Welcome back to Black Star Dove. Welcome back to my channel. As always, I do need that HBO special, which means help a brother out. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Go ahead and click that like and that subscribe button. I most definitely appreciate it. Let's get into what the crux of the video is today. Do influencers, entertainers, or anybody like that owe you anything? I came across this a whole lot recently. Most notably with people like Kelly Stamps. If you don't follow her or don't know who she is, Kelly Stamps is a African-American black woman who is a self-made millionaire just for making videos on YouTube, like some of the craziest stuff ever. I think her most famous video of her is her like beating the guy that she met off Bumble and then like leaving him because he looked like Aladdin. Like, you just gotta look her up, Kelly Stamps. So I watch her. I watch people like Azalea Williams and stuff like that. And one of the big questions is that, does a content creator owe you? Or when a content creator becomes so popular that they start getting, sponsorships, do they lose that sense of reality? Another person I watch, Talks with TJ. If you watch Talks with TJ, I've been watching Talks with TJ for years, back when she was married. That's how long I've been following her. Of course, now she's been divorced for quite some time. But she's always been like big into like sneaker collections and talking about finances. And recently she's been getting a whole lot of hate because she's been getting a whole lot of brand deals. Now that she's become like a big YouTuber when it comes to like street apparel, streetwear, most definitely the shoes. Like, she's working with Adidas, she's working with Nike, she's working with Foot Locker, and she quote unquote stopped being relatable to the average person because, hey, how can you be relatable if you're getting stuff that the average person can't get because companies give you these things? So do you does an influencer owe their audience to always be relatable? Another one, let's talk about another channel, Your Average Consumer. I've been watching Your Average Consumer for years. Again, he's a black man who tries to focuses on everyday products. But one of the biggest gripes with him is that, hey, how can you say you're the average consumer when you're getting things that cost $10,000-$15,000? The average person can't afford that. So like people have been turning against him as well. So one, do influencers owe you anything? And then the second one is that, can an influencer still quote unquote be for the everyday person if they're getting all these perks? Let's talk about the first one. An influencer does not owe you anything. An influencer or celebrity does not owe you anything. You have to remember the initial reason why you started following them. You probably follow them because of their message, their song, of how they were. If they changed at any point in time, they've become a different person. So instead of just saying, hey, you used to be like this, why aren't you like this anymore? You have to accept either A, that they have grown and evolved, which is something that we all should be doing, or B, because they have grown and evolved, you don't really mess with their message anymore, and then you should stop following them. Stuff that I followed 10 years ago, I don't follow now. Like, for instance, there's like, for instance, one of the very first break the internet videos on YouTube is called Unforgivable. So if you go to the search bar, type in Unforgivable, you're going to see a black man in a black and white picture. He's telling the story of how he met this girl and got her pregnant. It's a funny story. It's a high school story. It's a bullshit story. When I first saw it, like 10, 12 years ago, I started following that crew. Started following their channel because I was liking what they was posting. Now I would never like follow that. I go back and I watch Unforgivable every once in a while because it really is a funny video, but I'm not down with the message that they're promoting, so I don't really fuck with them. Very, very rarely, unless you're following someone who's like a grown adult, typically like they're already in their 30s, most people are going to change over time. Even then, when you're 30s, you're changing over time, but you don't change as much unless you just have your circumstances change dramatically, like you become like a millionaire overnight or something like that. Then you might change, or you might reveal more of who you truly are, depending on how you act. But no, like If you feel like that person is no longer relatable, that person owes you certain things, cause I see that a lot, especially with the content creators. Like, you know, they have grown, they have matured, they have done certain things. PewDiePie is the perfect example of this. If you don't know who PewDiePie is, type his name up in the search bar. PewDiePie is one of the top YouTubers in the world. I think he has over 100 million YouTubers subscribers. That man has over 100 million. Imagine the money he's getting. Like, you know, and of course PewDiePie used to be known for the meme videos and like doing a whole bunch of BS, but now that he's evolved, he's married, you know, and all that stuff, he's becoming a different man. People are starting to turn on him because they feel like he's not the same PewDiePie that he was 8 years ago. Well, of course he's not. He's in his 30s now. He has a wife now. Like, you know, he's doing things differently. Yeah, he still BS's around a little bit, but he does it more from a control standpoint. And people will say that's not the old person. I want to quote Jay-Z right quick. He said, "If you want my old music, buy my old album." You know, he said in a song called "On to the Next One," which is, you know, quite funny that he did that in that song. But, you know, you want the old stuff, go listen to the old stuff. Like, you know, you wanna watch somebody for their old videos, go watch their old videos. Like, for instance, I am a huge follower of Flossie Carter. If you ever don't know who Flossie Carter is, type his name up on YouTube. Like, Flossie Carter, I like him because he's a black man from the streets of Queens, and just was into tech. And I used to follow him because of his live streams. His live streams were the shit. If you go in and type in Flossie Carter live streams and see the ones from like a few years ago, it's like some of the funniest shit. Like his live streams would be about 4 or 5 hours, and I would sit and watch every bit of it because he would get drunk, play Injustice or play Mortal Kombat, get drunk, and then just start ranking on people in the chat and all that stuff, and just like start talking mad shit. Just like, he doesn't do that anymore. I still follow him, but, you know, he doesn't do that anymore. It's just that, you know, it's just weird. And then speaking of when people get on, like for instance, like I say, I'm looking for 1,000 subscribers. I need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. I become a YouTube partner, which means I started making money from my videos. The whole point is for me to build that up, take this brand, build it up, and then market it. So that way I can start getting more advertisers. I can start getting some products and all that stuff. So I'm already approaching this with a business mindset. I just don't hope that because I know it's going to happen when I become big, when I become, you know, start getting brand deals, people don't look at me and say, you're not for the average person anymore, which is BS, because I want to show that, hey, anybody can do it. Again, I bring up Talks with TJ, a very beautiful and smart black woman who, you know, talks about street apparel, you know, and because she's having all these deals now, people are like, oh, you're no longer part of the, you know, you're no longer one of us. That's what you're saying. In some ways that's true, because when you sit here and you're getting shoes that everybody else can't get, or only way people can get is if they get a raffle and all that stuff, like, you know, yeah, it makes sense. Like, you know, you're no longer one of the working men, but you're still one of us, and you still like put on great content for us. So I would say this: if you feel that you're no longer in line with a message of a content creator or celebrity, no matter who it is, either A, just listen to their old stuff, or it may be time for you to let them go. If they're arrogant, then just watch them fall from a distance. As far as brands, yes, I do YouTube because I love it, but I also know that I can turn this into a very lucrative business. I have plans. I want to have a wife and a family. I would like my wife to be a stay-at-home mom, and for her to have her own stuff on the side, like a business. But I don't want my wife to work. I know, like, so I'm working towards that. I'm working towards, you know, making sure my son is good, you know, making sure, like, you know, other kids that are in my life that are really good as well. But, you know, that's just some of my thoughts. So this video is getting kind of long. They say you shouldn't have the video past 10 minutes. So I'm going to say thank you. I love you. Peace. And go be something great. Bye.